Welcome to the class. That's our fifth lesson about New York. We'll discuss about some signature streets and landmarks of New York City. We'll discuss 4 signature streets, including Broadway, Fifth Avenue, Park Avenue, and Madison Avenue altogether, along with 1 signature landmark, Statue of Liberty, in New York City. Broadway is the longest street in New York City. It is also known as the Great White Way. It is because Broadway is the first all-night lighted road in America. Broadway is also called as Canyon of Heroes. As you can see from the picture, the parade on Broadway was to celebrate the successful mission of Apollo 11 astronauts in 1969. To honor the astronauts, a ticker tape parade is held. People will throw shredded paper onto the route of the parade to make a snowy effect. Ticker tape parade is also held on Broadway to celebrate World War II victory. To honor soldiers coming back from Afghanistan, a ticker tape parade is also held on Broadway. People now will be replacing shredded paper with confettis and colored balloons in the parade. And don't forget that ticker tape parades are only limited to the celebrations of the return of astronauts or soldiers. Not everyone will be invited to join the parade. Then we'll move on to Fifth Avenue. It is considered among the most expensive and best shopping streets in the world. Lots of movies were shot on Fifth Avenue. Have you heard about the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's? This movie opens with a stylish girl standing outside of a jewelry shop on Fifth Avenue in New York City. As you can see from the picture, Audrey Hepburn, the actress, is wearing a classy Givenchy little black dress standing outside of Tiffany's on Fifth Avenue. This movie scene has become the most talked about scene of all time. Have you ever watched Spider-Man? Some of the scenes were also taken on Fifth Avenue. Museum Mile is the name for a section of Fifth Avenue. Within this 1 mile, which means 1.6 kilometers, has one of the densest displays of culture in the world. There are 9 world-famous museums in total on Fifth Avenue, including Metropolitan Museum of Art. This museum is the largest art museum in America. If you like to pay a visit, you don't have to worry about the entrance fee, because it's pay what you wish, which means you can decide how much you want to pay when you want to get into the museum. Another famous museum on Fifth Avenue is Guggenheim Museum. Guggenheim Museum is famous for its collections on Impressionism, Post-Impressionism, Early Modern, and Contemporary art. The building is wide at the top and narrow on the bottom. It is very special. And if you like to pay a visit, the entrance fee is $25 US. Though it's a little bit expensive, it's definitely worth every penny. We'll move on to another signature street, Park Avenue in New York City. With no doubt, Grand Central Terminal is the shining star on Park Avenue. Did you see a clock in the middle of the picture? That clock has 4 faces made of precious stones. It's worth $20 million US. When you heard someone telling you to meet at the clock, that means you have to meet up beneath the clock at Grand Central Terminal. Around 21.9 million people have visited this railroad station. It's the biggest railroad station in the world. There are 44 platforms and 67 tracks within the station. That is unbelievable. Next, we'll talk about Madison Avenue. Madison Avenue is well known for the booming advertising industry in the 1920s. Even though only a few agencies are having their headquarters on Madison Avenue, this avenue still represents the advertising business in America. Statue of Liberty is definitely the most significant landmark in New York City. It is a gift from France to America. It is also an icon of freedom and standing on New York Harbor to welcome immigrants from other countries. The statue is carrying a torch on her right hand and a tablet with the date of American Declaration of Independence on the left hand. Statue of Liberty was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984. Now, let's check if you can answer the following questions. What are the important features of streets and landmarks in your city? For Broadway, it's also called as the Great White Way and Canyon of Heroes. For Fifth Avenue, it's also called as Museum Mile. Famous museums include Metropolitan Museum of Art and Guggenheim Museum. For Park Avenue, Grand Central Terminal is an important landmark. As for Madison Avenue, people always think about its advertising industry. As for Statue of Liberty, it's a welcoming sight to immigrants arriving from abroad. This is the end of the lesson. See you next time.